The American South is vaguely defined amongst cartographers, but many say that it ranges from the depths of Miami all the way to Fayetteville, North Carolina. Bizarrely, a state called North Carolina commonly fits into the metric of being southern. It's home to the Charlotte Hornets, the site of the first gold rush, and many rare creatures, of which are many reptiles. There are lizards amongst that collective, glass lizards, and lizards that lick.
Oh, hell no! What you did?
Not today, sucker, not today.
These people are part of a company called Lizard Lick Towing. It's led by the man with the diabolical haircut, Ron Shirley, with his wife, Amy, being his right-hand man. The big guy is Bobby Brantley, Ron's longtime friend and most crucial worker. He deals with reluctant debtors and ruffians that attempt to stop the lizard from licking them. The company had been approached in the late 2000s by True TV, the same guys who televised Impractical Jokers, to make a TV show about their day-to-day lives in the towing and repossession business. The show ran for about 3 years, from around 2010 to 2014, airing across the globe, but starting off in the States. The television series shows the outs and outs of vehicle repossessions, the character dynamics between the employees and beyond, but also showing the violence that can occur when things go wrong, and oftentimes go very wrong, breaking out into an all-out brawl, where most of the time, it's Bobby Brantley versus 7 men. But I wondered, is it real? One of the main headers of Lizard Lick, well, on Amazon at least, is that it's unscripted. Well, in this video, we will try to answer this question, with us trying to find out what the show really entails, what goes down, what are they doing now, what's the story about, and many, many other things. This is an investigation into Lizard Lick Towing, some of television's strangest characters.
How could you steal from me?
Dude, this is brand new love. That's my
Juicy calls the law right about now. Where my plane go? Oh, hell no! Why it smells like stupid?
The show first began airing around February 2011, about 14 years ago now, with the first season having 12 episodes. But this wasn't the first time that the company got airtime. That would be about 3 years prior, on a show called All Worked Up. The premise of the show is basically following people around that have rough jobs, like bailiffs, maids, and our beloved repossession company, Lizard Lick Towing. They had managed to get their own show, getting picked up by True TV, not because of how interesting the work was, but because of the people at Lizard Lick, mainly Bobby and Ronnie, with their quirky personalities. The premise of the show is exactly the same as All Worked Up, repossessing cars and fighting those who get in their way, basically. That's pretty much it for the show's content, fights and repos. But people watched it. A lot of people watched it, and still do. The most views it got on the live airing was 2.8 million viewers. The season 3 premiere, that's basically the same as what Suits got for its season 3 premiere. Pretty impressive for a show that just follows around two rednecks that fight people. They did create a story along the way though. Watching two people fight over and over again can get pretty boring. People would watch WWE if they wanted to watch that. So, a story to entice the viewers would be a pretty good idea. We'll cover that later on. But as for now, let's go through an episode together to see what it's really all about and how real it comes across. My opinion of rednecks has only been sought after through media portrayals, without any personal interactions. I see them as rough, ill-informed, patriotic ruffians, with them having thick southern accents. Now these guys here, they're known for brawling and having quick wits. They repo cars, get into fights, and, well, that's pretty much it. Well, let's go through an episode and see if they can change my opinion of rednecks and see what it's all about. Maybe they don't get into fights, but we'll have a look and see.
Trying to get my husband to call you folks so that you could go ahead and repossess my son's truck.
What in the world kind of mother wants to repo her own son's truck? I knew this one's about to get interesting.
We
They're gonna do the same fucking thing, aren't they? Repo a truck.
He said 1,800.
Okay.
1800. Fuck!
There you go. Hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing today, buddy?
Oh, hanging in there, man.
I guess the only thing I do is be blunt with you, buddy. The F-250 is up for repossession right now. So please give me the keys, sir.
What's he shouting for? So please give me the keys, sir. Please.
Please give me the keys, sir.
Please.
Give me the keys, sir.
Now, what I say? I'm gonna get that boy man out here. Get it.
Go Gadget, stick of death.
Get your boy. JR, come here.
Oh, what's going on, Bob?
Man,
Hey, buddy, what's your name? Bobby, nice to meet you. What's your name?
Boss Hall.
More like Boss Chungus.
What they call you?
That's what they call it.
No one's paying for your truck since your mom made an initial.
What's that fucking thing in his hand? Look at that. Little piggy.
Bobby, ask him how much longer.
How much longer?
Hey, I don't know, Houston.
Chinese whispers with you. Look at these two guys, yeah. Behind the truck. These two fat bozos trying to be incognito. And their guts probably stick around the side. We see the top of fucking Ronnie's head, like a little bird's nest, sticking out like a sore thumb. Yeah, he's gonna see it.
Hey, hold on, Bo. Hold on a minute. Hey, hold on. I can't take it. I ain't even got my truck, man. Look, my truck's up the street.
Why does he keep saying Bo? That's all he says. Bo, what's up, Bo? How you going, Bo? Fuck you, Bo.
Hey, hold on, Bo. Hold on, Bo. You got a key. You got a key. We ain't got nothing to get it with, Bo. We ain't got nothing to get it with. Go, Bobby, go, Bobby, go. How much you want? Get him out. Where you going, Bacon boy? Come on. Told you we get his truck.
Why would he do that? He's just lost all leniency of getting the truck by jumping off it. See the cameraman in the van. Does he not get fucking sick of this? Doing the same thing every time. Fucking record them, get in a repo, get in a fight, shouting, screaming.
When I come after him, I get him.
I get him. Boss Hog Tour got licked.
Boss hog. Hog.
That right there is pretty in a deep fried pickle.
What's with the fucking similes? Similes and Bo. That's prettier than a deep fried pickle. Bo. The two bozos return, the human meatballs.
Check him out, 'cause I want to whoop his ass.
But unfortunately, I can't do anything for either one of you. Sorry.
It's just bull. I just pulled 5 years for slapping a bitch. I'll slap your ass too.
Oh, really?
I don't know why I need to say that, but yeah. Woman beater, human meatball, woman beater.
Go, Bobby, go.
Okay, so they go to this diner and a guy from an old repo comes up and wants money for repoing a car for them. But guess what? He won't get the money.
I gave you the car. I expect my damn money.
What the fuck is that stance?
Alright.
Yeah.
Damn. What a bitch.
Ronnie.
That's twice.
Look at him coming.
Just get up here now.
A tiny little push. Fucking centre pride.
Just get up here now. Just get up here now.
Goodbye.
Oh, fuck. No. He's got one guy on the roof. There. He's taken on 2 people. And he just fucking broke some guy's spine on the top of the car. What the fuck?
Hey, B. Alright, buddy.
He's fucking killed 1, 2, 3 of them. One man's killed 3 people. Okay, so we see these guys. They're ruffians. They're loud. They're ill-informed. But they do have quick wits with Ronnie's weird similes. Bo. Don't know why Bobby kept doing that for though. Fucking those 2 thick as shit guys behind the truck. Not changing my impression of rednecks being ruffians. That's that, Bo. Make of it what you will. Throughout that video, Bobby assaulted 3 people and caused some criminal damage by smashing some bloke through his own windscreen. You could claim it to be self-defense or what have you, or you could not. But having this play out is pretty risky stuff in a legal sense. And as such, it begs the question, is the show fake? Well, the simple answer is yes, but the technical answer is maybe. Many reality television shows fake action for a dramatic effect to entice viewers, but other times they reenact scenarios that actually did happen to get a better angle for television. This show is no different. There's no proof that these reenactments of events actually happened, but there's also none for that they didn't. But the stuff we see, the action, is definitely fake. Let's go through some telltale signs. The first and most obvious one is that the television crew always are left behind at the repo, but sometimes teleport into the cars when possible. Then there's this episode, Season 1, Episode 4. The gunshot is fake and the fire is over the top. There's also this soundbite that they keep repeating. It's hard to notice, but before Bobby gets into a fight, they play it. It's Bobby saying,
Oh, hell no! Oh, hell no!
When they play that, you know something is about to go down. The fighting as well is really tame. They never swing at each other, they only push. I have never seen Bobby lay someone out with a 5-knuckle shuffle. Just a push, and may I say, probably the strongest known to man, as it knocks over everyone it lands on. Oh yeah, the people on the show give it away as well. At one point, Ric Flair hires the 2 redneck bozos to be his security detail, and he starts fighting with them, which is obviously bollocks. Also, they repo Brandy Love. Believe it or not, yeah, that Brandy Love. Ric Flair was the biggest name that got onto the show, but the storyline around it was a bit random. It was basically written to allow for celebrity cameos on the show. Redneck WWE is basically Lizard Lick, so the WWE star being on would have been great for the long-time viewers. There's parts of the storyline that give away that it's factually fiction too. So we've determined it's a fake and scripted show, which opposes the big header that Amazon puts on the show. So the show follows around 2 rednecks that play fight and repo cars that aren't actually up for repossession. It's a mockery of the sport of repossession. It's pretty obvious it's fake as well. It doesn't take a genius to figure it out. So what keeps people watching it then? Well, that would be the great storyline that the show has. It rivals the work of Shakespeare and them, man. I'll walk you through it. Okay, so the show has 8 seasons in the UK, but 4 in the US. It makes no difference as the number of total episodes are the same. I'll be using the UK schedule as it makes it easier to break down. Right then, in season 1, the whole plot revolves around Amy and Ron's relationship. Ron knocks up Amy with their 3rd kid. Amy hates the fact that Ron is so dedicated to his work and doesn't let him come home as he's always busy. To make it up to Amy, Ron hires Big Juicy, who works in the office as Amy's assistant, becoming a constant character from that point forwards. The written gag with Big Juicy is that she wants to touch Bobby or something like that. The season ends with Bobby and Ron going to Miami to repo a boat. Amy goes into labour whilst they're there, but they make it back in time to North Carolina to see the birth of their newest child, Maggie May. The season ends. Season 2 is about Bobby and his ex called Mickey. Basically, Bobby's ex stole a lot of his money and stole from Ron too. Mickey also has a thing for Ron, sending him nodes on the dog and bone every now and then. Amy hates her. Ron, Bobby and Amy keep getting into fights over her, with Bobby eventually siding with his ex and leaving the company. The season ends with Ron getting stabbed in the gut by bikers. Season 3. This season is basically about avoiding bankruptcy. It starts off with showing Ron surviving the stabbing, which of course isn't real. Ron hires 2 new guys, Big Mike and Crazy Dave. Ron thinks of quitting, but as soon as he mentions it, Bobby walks back in and asks for his job back. Perfect timing, innit? He says no, but eventually gives him his job back when Maggie May falls ill and Ron has no one else to help him. Bobby offers to work for free. Bobby sets up a meeting with this guy called Dwight to try and get them out of debt. They're offered 4 repos to do in New Orleans for 20 grand, the exact amount they need to get the lick out of debt. They get 10 grand up front and the rest when the job is done. It turns out this guy is like a shady businessman or something. They go to Louisiana and do 3 of the repos and fail the 4th one, so they don't get the money, and the bloke who gave them the money wants it back. They don't give said money back, and as a result, Bobby is pretty much put on a hit list. They blow up his car, things look down and out for the lick, but by some stroke of luck, a guy offers them 30 grand to repo 25 cars in 2 hours, and guess what? They do it. Ron gives the 10 grand back to Dwight, and they are back in business. The season ends with Ron's renewing his vows to Amy, wearing his god-awful clobber, jeans and the like, looking like Curtin Mucklow. Season 4. The quality of the show really starts to drop off. The editing gets quite bad, chock-a-block with jump cuts. I'm surprised anyone would watch the show past that point. The story's a mess, the action is repetitive and all around a bit mundane. There isn't really a story for this season, it's more about the repos. So, Ron's cousin Johnny gets out of prison and wants a job. Ron agrees. Turns out Johnny wanted to shag Amy, which Ron found out and fucked him off. Amy finds out her old op is back in town and is now a slumlord. To settle the score, Amy challenges her to an MMA fight. Amy wins by forfeit as Sheila gets pinched during the walkout. Again, really great timing and writing. The season ends with Ron getting an offer from a guy to take over his company and accepts it when he doubles it. Season 5. This season is about the crew getting side hustles really. The offer that Ron accepted becomes void as Johnny, Ron's cousin that wanted to shag Amy, was actually an inside man for Lizard Lick, and thus he snitches on the guy that made the offer for committing tax fraud or something along those lines. Bobby and Ron start a food truck called Lizard Lick Barbecue. They get offered to work security by some charity. They offer to pay for their cause and are now able to take security detail work. This plotline is only really used twice. In the first instance, they are Ric Flair's security detail, and he helps them repo a car basically. And the second is in season 6. The whole point of this was to allow Ric Flair to make an appearance. I don't know why he would want to go onto the show. Maybe he was skint or something, I don't know. This season has another cameo, but you'll never guess who it is. It's a blonde lady famous for her acting. Take a guess. No, you got it wrong. It's the adult film star Brandy Love. They repo a guy who is managing a set and she makes an appearance in the background. And Crazy Dave says,
"Dude, this is Brandy Love. That's my favorite porn star."
Bobby gets a new girlfriend, a nurse called Cassie. The season ends with Ron running for mayor of Lizard Lick because his mate's farm was being taken over by an industrialist. His running opponent is a man called Sam Davis. As it turns out, Sam Davis doesn't exist and is an actor called Jeffrey Kidd. Again, showing that the show isn't unscripted, if you couldn't tell. Sam Davis ends up winning the election. To end the season off, Bobby falls asleep at the wheel and flips his car 4 times, and it ends on a cliffhanger. Season 6, Bobby survives the crash, but he also gets arrested for assaulting a federal agent whilst doing a security detail for a jewellery shop. It was a setup by Sam Davis, sort of. He planted jewellery on Bobby and accused him of theft, and then calls the law on him, as the crew would say.
He calls the law right about now.
He gets pinched for pushing the federal agent, but gets off for just 10 hours of community service, as the crew finds out that Sam Davis is corrupt and expose him, which somehow gets Bobby off of the charges. I don't know. Oh yeah, Cassie disappears on Bobby, and Bobby finds her with another bloke, and basically snaps his neck. That's really it for Season 6. By far the most boring of all the seasons. Season 7. This is about Bobby and Juicy's relationship. It starts off with Bobby pieing off Juicy after an 80s themed party. She's a bit pissed at him for that, but Bobby makes it up with her. Also in this season, they give a weird rundown of the episode before they start, and it's really, really bad. Listen to some of these.
An irate cable guy gives Bobby a bad reception. They get a lot more than they bargained for. Amy leaves Ron with the kid. The Shirleys go on a Christmas adventure that takes a frightening turn. It's Christmas time at the Lick, and someone's on the naughty list. Amy leaves Ron with an irate cable guy. Juicy's crush on Bobby goes too far. The guys look for a Cadillac at a scrapyard and get messy. An irate cable guy coming on the Shirley's bed, coming on Amy's MMA gear, and coming on a hard run, and Bobby ends up paying the price.
Bobby fucked off Cassie in the season before and tries to get with a new girl, but Juicy ruins their date and Bobby gets really annoyed with Big Juicy. Juicy starts going out with a new guy that looks exactly like Bobby called Joey, and as it turns out, this guy's a thief and steals a car from the lot, or the bullpen as they say it, or is it bullpen like bullpen hammer? Fuck if I know. They sack Juicy for being with him, but eventually rehire her. The season ends with Bobby leaving Lizard Lick to make his own towing company as he gets offered a franchise. He leaves in part due to a bad relationship with Ron's dad and brother, who are leaseholders of vehicles and offer Lizard Lick a lot of their repos. Season 8, we're nearly there. This season is about Bobby and his new company. It starts off with a special episode about Wendell County and the crew. The only thing we learn about it is that Ron's shit trim is from Wendell Barbershop, and it's called a bow hawk. Like bow as in bow, like bow. Cassie comes back and fronts Bobby some cash for his new company, called Get Licked Towing, and the company logo is a lizard. They also hire a guy, called Guy, who looks exactly like Ron. It doesn't go smooth for Bobby, and Ron gives him a $5,000 loan behind his back, which Cassie accepts on his behalf. Ron gets the shit beaten out of him in a repo, with a new guy, Bobby's replacement, called Earl. Earl is pretty useless and only cares about himself. Ron gets sent to the hospital as a result, but he does survive. Bobby tries to get revenge on the guys that did that to Ron and repos them, but also gets the shit beaten out of him as well. But Ron and Amy come back and manage to get revenge and save Bobby. Earl fights with Bobby for being a traitor, but somehow ends up punching Amy square on the nose after missing Bobby's fat head. Earl goes out with Juicy and they start getting pretty serious, and Earl wants to run away with Juicy. Juicy also gets offered a modelling job but gets scammed. Bobby eventually goes back to Lizard Lick as his crew are pretty useless, a Ron lookalike and a Lester lookalike. The Lester lookalike is called Lou, by the way. Amy finds out that someone has been taking private cash jobs when doing repos. Turns out it was Earl, they sack him and they get him arrested. Earl then finds a new job and wants Juicy to come with him, but she declines. Crazy Dave finds out he was never actually married because his pastor wasn't actually a pastor, but he gets remarried though. The season ends with Ron getting death threats and attempts on his life, like someone cutting his brake line. That's it. It ends with the company catching fire. And there you have it, the story of Lizard Lick. Full of repetition and abysmal writing. A call about a repo that's dangerous, they get into a fight, they repo the car, the debtors come back and fight again, the episode ends. As you've heard, the story is rubbish, the action is worst, and the show is just all around a mess. There's nothing going for it. But why is it so popular? I've mentioned WWE throughout the video, with there being so many similarities, be that fights, strange characters that have some charm to them, oftentimes poor writing, even having a character shared between them in Ric Flair. WWE has had many storylines, many times being poor, but people stay for the action, with the storyline often being a side part, leading to more action. The cycle continues, and that's exactly the same as Lizard Lick. There's a storyline throughout the show, but people stay to watch the fights that are oftentimes over the top and poorly choreographed, exactly like WWE. Imagine if Ron and Bobby got fit and were in the WWE. You wouldn't bat an eyelid. The same goes in reverse. Try imagining a young Hulk Hogan and a young Ric Flair, and if they ran a repossession business called Lizard Lick, you would get the same result. Fun personalities, a storyline, shocking drama, and ultimately, as in both shows, a story of good people versus bad people. It's WWE in a real life scenario, played out by two rednecks that try to best those whose time is up, bad people. A show for those who think WWE is a fake, scripted show that only appeals to children. I told ChatGPT to tell me why people watch WWE, and it said this. People watch WWE because it combines athleticism, drama, and entertainment in a way that no other sport does. The high-flying moves, intense rivalries, and over-the-top personalities create a spectacle that keeps fans hooked. WWE superstars like The Rock, John Cena, and Roman Reigns bring charisma and storytelling to the ring, making each match feel like a bigger part of the narrative. Fans love the unpredictability, surprise returns, shocking betrayals, and last-minute victories, making every event exciting. Whether it's nostalgia, love for action, or just the fun of the larger-than-life characters, WWE offers an escape into a world where anything can happen. Now, if I replace a few of those words, you get the exact reason as for why Lizard Lick is so popular. People watch Lizard Lick because it combines fighting, drama, and entertainment in a way that no other show does. The high-flying moves, intense rivalry, and over-the-top personalities create a spectacle that keeps fans hooked. Lizard Lick employees like Crazy Dave, Ronnie Shirley, and Bobby Brantley bring charisma and storytelling to the repossession world, making each repo feel like part of a larger narrative. Fans love the unpredictability, surprise returns, shocking betrayals, and last-minute victories to make every repo exciting. Whether it's the nostalgia, love for action, or just the fun, larger-than-life characters, Lizard Lick Towing offers an escape into a world where anything can happen. That's it. That's why it's so popular. Not a bad analysis, eh? If you're wondering what they're up to now, well, Bobby has moved on and is doing cameo appearances, and sometimes repos. Ron and Amy are still married and running Lizard Lick, a real company in Wendell, North Carolina. The rest of the crew are also doing cameos on the side, but some of the characters are a bit off the radar, so it's hard to tell. Lizard Lick will go down as one of the most bizarre shows on television, with the strange characters, big fights, and very bad writing. Despite that, its appeal is huge because of this. It gives an escape from reality that is only really bested by WWE in terms of the action. It's comically bad, but that's why people love it. In this video, we managed to find out answers to our questions, with us discovering that the show is in fact scripted and why people watch it, and many, many others. Maybe one day the show will make a return, but who knows. Let me know in the comments down below your favourite Lizard Lick moment. Thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, and subscribe for more content like this. And as always, have a good day now.